So I told you that we went to Colorado,
Mhm.
and this was only my second time in Colorado. First time was during the
With Dad.
pandy, yeah, so I didn't get to do much. But this was the first time I got to like roam around and saw
Coloradans.
Coloradans.
I think they're Coloradans.
One thing I noticed was I think that everyone in Colorado went to sleep one night and then grew 3 inches, but then never changed their wardrobe. Everybody
Everyone's
was
flooding.
flooding. Either that or they have some weird kink about ankles.
Oh, God.
Because it was either the pants were intentionally short, or if they weren't intentionally short, they were rolled up. Every single person in Colorado. Yeah. See, you should move to Colorado.
My ankles are hidden, though.
Well,
I'm not a Victorian whore.
you wouldn't be appreciated in Colorado.
I think that's actually just making it come back because the Austin people are the same way.
Oh, so it's just pretentious people.
Probably,
It's
yeah.
not just Coloradians.
The Austinites have caught it too. They're big ankle people.
Also, Colorado has to be the single biggest consumer of Subarus. Those lesbian mobiles are everywhere. We pulled into the Casa Bonita parking lot,
Yeah.
and all you had to do was just do a little circle. You could count at least 20 of them.
All the Subarus.
Literally everywhere. And they're all driven by the exact person you would think would be driving a Subaru.
Mm-hmm. So when we were talking about moving to Colorado, the conversation was almost explicitly that as soon as I moved, got all my stuff there, I was going to trade cars, my Camry for a Subaru, because they could get one that was able to fit a kayak, and that would be an all-roads kind of car, because my car very much is not. I was going to be a Subaru person.
Yeah.
It's tragic.
It's not too late.
One of these days I'll get there.
I think if you are a thing, Nate would probably end up pretty disappointed in your
Win
life
some, you
choices
lose
after
some.
that.
Yeah.
A lot more flannel in your future.
I'll shave one of the halves of my head, let the people know.
Oh, but it was a trip. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the show, people. Welcome to the show.
Eat my shorts.
So here is to conversation.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
So what do weddings, funerals, and a nice bris have in common?
Okay, so before I answer this or make guesses, what is a bris?
You don't know what a bris is either?
I've heard the term, but yeah, no, I have no idea.
I came up with this list when I was riding with Mom, and she didn't know either. Am I the only one in this house that knows about Jewish culture?
What is a bris?
A bris is a Jewish ceremony
Okay.
where a male child is circumcised.
Oh, okay.
So, you got a wedding, a funeral, a bris. How do they all connect? What's the through line?
I mean, they're all family events.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pass any judgment on the bris, but I would think the
You
less
said it
people
was a
there, the better.
ceremony, right?
It is a ceremony. It is, and it's a big thing that people gather for.
That's still a family event, then?
It is. I didn't say it wasn't. I just said I think that it is different.
Okay. So the through line is not that it's a family event, then?
No.
You threw me off with bris. I had to learn what it was on the fly. Now I have to figure out how it relates to a wedding and a funeral.
Yeah. They are gatherings. I'll give you that much.
Family gatherings where you lose or gain something pretty important.
That could work, but it doesn't fit with today's topic. All three of these events are places where there is a high expectation for decorum. You're supposed to act right.
You can't get unruly at the bris.
You could. You could if you tapped into the
Can't act like a
Manischewitz, I
dick.
guess, a little early.
The what?
Oh my God. The Manischewitz?
I didn't know what a bris was. What makes you think I would know what a Manischewitz
It's
is?
Jewish wine.
Oh, just say Jewish wine.
That sounds racist.
All right.
Okay, you heard it here
Alright.
first. I am more culturally in tune than my co-host. But, and this was a topic I came up with, maybe 3 weeks ago
Okay.
when I was flying to Miami. Yeah, Miami. Plane etiquette. A plane. The airport in general, just places that you are expected to act a certain kind of way
Okay.
and not try to be the main character of the story that you're living.
That's a tough one. I hate main character energy.
I do too.
I don't know if that means that I am by nature an NPC because I hate main character energy. I'm not ready to have an existential crisis today.
I mean, is there something wrong with just living your life without having to thrust yourself on other people at every turn? I don't think so.
I mean, if you want to exist in the grander scheme of society, you have to have a tripod on you at all times.
Yeah?
If we want to be big podcasters, we're going to have to be YouTube Shorts people, Amazon Reels people, or Instagram Reels people. I think it means that we will have to cave to the algorithm and start recording ourselves in public like we are the main characters. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
And villainy is where the money's at?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think of it that way.
Have you seen how many evil people have layers? Layers are expensive.
Like onions?
I was thinking more parfaits, but sure.
Oh, like Dr. Evil's lair.
Mhm.
And it's just a group of onions. What's a group of onions called? A bushel? A
Yeah.
murder of onions?
A murder of onions.
Okay, so right now, while we're still nobodies,
Mm-hmm.
I expect myself to just float in and out. Just it's like I was never there.
Mm-hmm.
And I want other people to do that too, but other people can't do that.
Sure.
One thing I noticed was I was waiting at the gate for my plane, and there was a gentleman there who was in a Canadian tuxedo, and for those that don't know, a Canadian
Denim.
tuxedo is denim on denim on denim.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Uh,
I don't know what a bris is, but I do know a Canadian tuxedo.
there was his jean jacket,
Mhm.
which had a Tommy Hilfiger logo going across the entire front and entire back.
Okay.
A shirt had little Tommy Hilfiger logo on the pocket.
Okay.
His jeans had rings with the Tommy Hilfiger logo around each knee.
Ew. What?
His shoes, not denim, loafers,
Commit to the bit, man. You gotta have those
Tommy Hilfiger,
jutes.
Tommy Hilfiger matching loafers.
Yeah.
And like, if he saw this on a mannequin and he just said, "I want that," then that's one thing. Like, sure. If you have to be completely matching head to toe and you think that that's what everyone else appreciates, then fine. That's great. But
What if you met Tommy Hilfiger?
is he
What if
still
that
alive?
was? I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure he is.
What if that was Tommy Hilfiger?
I would be a little put off.
Yeah.
If whenever our merch store gets up and going,
Mhm.
and for whatever reason we have a jacket, shirt, pant, loafer combo available for purchase,
I'm sorry, we're so not selling loafers.
why not? Each of our faces could be on each of them.
All right, fine.
And someone walked up to me and said, "I love your stuff." I would be put off. I would not be a fan of this person. Say, "Hey, thanks. Keep listening. Keep ordering stuff from the merch store.
Hmm.
But I'm going to go stand near security now. Thank you. Have a great day."
Okay. We're rich at a level that we have security in the situation.
No, I'm just talking about security for whatever facility I'm in.
Oh.
Yeah.
In like a padded room kind of way?
I would find someone with weaponry, whether it's
Oh God, okay.
a handgun or mace. Maybe even just some old lady with pepper spray on her keychain. I don't know. Someone that is going to have protection to save both of us because
Okay.
that person is unwell.
Sure. Okay.
If they're tracking us down, dressed head to toe in our stuff, I wouldn't be okay with that. And I would assume that Tommy Hilfiger wouldn't either.
Sure.
Not just
If
that,
he-
but I don't think most people could point him out in a crowd.
If he wasn't here for that, why would he make clothes with his name so big on it? Riddle me that.
That's a great question. I don't know. Should he be episode 200 after we get Jarrett Reddick for 100?
Absolutely.
All right, Tommy, hold on, because it's going to take us a bit, but we'll get you on. But it's not just his outfit. His outfit was one thing. I think that said a lot about him. But then he had like this military backpack. He puts it on the ground and it's completely stuffed. I mean, it's like 1.5 feet off of his back.
Mm-hmm.
And he reaches in one of the front pockets and just starts pulling out loose candy.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean loose candy? Just
I mean,
a fistful of Skittles?
Individually wrapped, like a grandmother.
Were those originals?
Like those little candies that are wrapped in strawberry paper.
I don't know who sells those. I've never seen them in a store.
I don't know. This man was maybe like mid-40s.
Okay.
I don't think that Social Security had sent him his strawberry candies yet. But he just starts pulling them out of his backpack.
Okay.
And then I didn't see him again until after the flight.
Mm-hmm.
And flying into Miami, you got to take the freaking monorail everywhere. So
Monorail.
I get in, and guess who stands next to me? Hilfiger man. Tommy Jr. And the amount of cologne this man had on his person should not have gotten through TSA.
Okay.
Because he 100% was definitely flammable. And so this was the third piece to the puzzle of this man that I saw. And I just could not wrap my head around what he was trying to convey to the world. Oh, and then he also had like a watch with like a 2-inch face that was very fake, but trying not to look fake.
A Folex?
Yes.
Okay.
And this isn't the first time. This is just the most recent one. I run into people all the time when I'm trying to get on a plane or get off a plane of just, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What do you want the world to know about you? Because this is a little much. So based on everything I described to you, what do you think this man's about?
What do I think this man is about? He's a TikTok influencer. He posts every single one of his morning routines. He wakes up at 4 in the morning to do an ice bath with something like Evian. Voss. He's contributed massively to the landfills.
Aquafina?
Wow. Wow, the disrespect you're putting on my man right now.
No, he has to empty the Aquafina into the Voss. And then he shows the Voss bottle in, that's what he puts in the ice bath.
No, it's just tap water. I mean, actually, even that's better than Aquafina. But yeah, this is a separate rabbit hole, but I've been watching a lot of those videos of like morning routines and stuff from people who are just impossible. It's my favorite thing now. The ones that are just like parodies, and the actual guys who are just like sprinting on a closed off road next to a Lamborghini. It's so fun to watch. It's so stupid. I love the internet sometimes, but I think that's what that man is about.
Yeah, that's possible. I honestly, I couldn't tell you. Definitely on multiple divorces.
Sure. Just moved to America from whatever
From where?
country. I don't know.
From where?
I'm not speculating as to where this man came from. I don't know enough details, but I am saying that gives off a very big just got to America and this is what America is energy. In the same way that like Kumail Nanjiani, his first day in America was on Thanksgiving Day in New York. And so he saw the parade, yeah. And he was like, I thought every day was like this. This was just America. That's the same energy. A man who is fully decked out in Tommy Hilfiger.
Or like when Apu is trying to get his, are we allowed to say it? Are we allowed to name drop Apu anymore? He's our people, it's fine. Whenever...
Are you able to drop a poo?
Oh, I didn't even catch that. Well, whenever he's trying to Americanize himself, and he's got the cowboy hat and the...
Turns out I am American. I just plumb forgot.
Howdy, partner.
Okay, I think you can still name drop Apu, but I don't think you can.
He said it.
You can use the accent.
I sure can.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll
Wow.
link one of our aunts or uncles.
Yeah?
Faisal. Looks like Groucho Marx.
Sure, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, name drop the rest of them.
Firos. Looks like a mean dad. Like he
That
looks
is a
like
fact.
he looks just like our dad, but mean.
He also does look like a mean dad.
Also that, yeah.
Okay, so this man's about.
Second divorce. You know what? He's maybe we should be applauding him. He doesn't care about what the outside world has to say about him.
Or
There's something in that.
his name is Tommy, and he just likes to represent his own name like he's a Pokemon.
Maybe.
If you spoke to him, the only word he would say, Tommy Hilfiger.
Tommy. Oh, hindsight. I wish I had talked to this man. I wish I had said
Missed
something
opportunity.
just so I could have a clearer picture. But again, he's not the only one. He's not going to be he wasn't the first, won't be the last. Just you see all these pictures of people that are flying, and it's like first class accommodations the entire way through. When did we lose that?
First class?
Just that vibe.
What do you mean?
Like the people dressing up nicely to be on a plane. People not treating it like it's a Greyhound in the sky.
Whenever Boeing planes started falling apart, that's when we stopped treating it like it
Okay,
was
but that was relatively recently.
fine. I will say though that like there's a meeting in the middle. I don't like the people who go onto planes in like suits. Like, yeah, maybe you have like a business meeting that you have to get to immediately out of the airport. Or maybe you didn't want your suit to wrinkle in your suitcase. Valid reasons. Don't wear a suit to the airport.
No, no, there's a whole other subset of people that are on the opposite end of that spectrum and just have to look like I'm important businessman the entire time.
Yeah.
Like they'll be sitting in their seat and they're in coach with the rest of us peasants, and they'll pull out their laptop and just open a spreadsheet. And that's all they do.
I think my biggest pet peeve of people that get on planes now are the people who look purposefully disheveled. Like, so this is another side of the internet I wish I wasn't on, but there are girls who will get to the airport in enough time to do like their entire like shedding routine.
Uh-huh.
So they'll have like the mouth tape and their hair in like the rollers and stuff and like the eye mask. It's ridiculous. And every one of them will get on the plane and then they'll start like peeling 75% of their face off. Like, you have neighbors. What is wrong with you?
Have you ever been seated close to a nail clipper? An airplane nail clipper?
No. What?
I haven't been close. I've passed a few on the way to the lavatories.
They still let nail clippers on airplanes? The people, not the device.
Yeah, they do.
That's horrifying.
It is.
How do you not have enough forethought to be like, I should clip my nails before I get on this flight?
I mean, you have to live the busiest of lives for the only time that you have any downtime whatsoever is when you're on a plane.
God. Are we talking fingernails, or are we just like
I've
dogs out on the plane?
I've seen both. One time it was just like, I don't know, maybe they just had something like in their cuticle that they were just trying to take out. It wasn't anything egregious.
Okay.
But the fact that that is what they decided to do on a plane surrounded by all these other people said something about them.
I feel like that's a very different situation from like actively just like clipping their nails.
But
on
no,
the plane.
the toenail one, that one was appalling.
If you clip your toenails on a plane, I hope that the air marshal puts you on the no-fly list. You don't deserve to be on planes.
I just don't know the thought process. And maybe it's just because I'm a lot more courteous around my fellow travelers than other people. But it is excessive that someone has so little disregard for the people around them.
So I haven't flown on anywhere near as many planes as you have, but the most annoying thing that happens if I'm on like planes or if I'm in a space where I'm like with other people in like relatively close quarters, everyone decides because I'm small that means that they can take up 50% of my space, and it makes me homicidal. Every time. I will be sat next to a stranger on a plane, inevitably an adult man, and he will just spread into, like, he'll take my armrest, he'll spread his legs into my seat space, and I'm just like, I don't want to touch you, but go away. Move to, you have a
That's
little
when you start
section.
ringing the button. Yes, ma'am. Did you need us? Yeah. Homeboy over here wanted a seat and a half, but he only paid for one. So can we do something about this? Are you a middle seat cretin?
No, I will be a window all the time.
Window.
But a lot of times there are seats that are like booked on either side of me, so I don't have the choice. So I just have to be like squished into my
With
space.
your Frontier Pass, do you get to choose the seat? Because you don't get to. You don't. It's not just free reign on Frontier, is it?
I mean, considering the fact that it is Frontier, maybe. But you do get to pick your seat as long as you. So the Frontier Pass works, or how it works is that you pay $1 for your flight plus the like taxes and fees or whatever. So long as you book the flight within 24 hours of it actually leaving. So you get a reserved seat, but you have to get like last minute seats.
Okay, so you.
So if I get an aisle, I get an aisle. If I get middle, I get middle.
I'm
It's
always
just whatever's
aisle.
available. Yeah.
I'm over the novelty of being able to see out the window. I would much rather, if I needed to get up for any reason, to just get up and not have to shimmy my ass in front of two strangers.
That's fair.
And one of the absolute worst evolutions in mankind is people that are in row 40 standing up as soon as the plane lands.
Yeah.
And putting their hips and their bits in my face when it is going to be a solid 15 minutes before there's enough clearance for anyone in our area to get off the plane. Sit your ass down.
Are those people worse than clappers? Or is that Venn diagram a circle?
I can deal with the clapping because usually when the plane lands, I still have my headphones on anyways.
Yeah.
So I can't hear it. Is some of it going to bleed through? Sure. Am I gonna have a lack of understanding of why these people are excited that the thing that they expected to happen happened? Maybe a little bit, but
I'm just trying to boost the pilot's self-esteem, man.
they need all the self-esteem boost they can use these days. Keep them upright, not upside down. Anyways, but they clap, and then it's done.
Yeah.
You clap and stand up, straight to hell. And
Do
then-
not pass go. Do
and
not
then
collect
You
$200.
got people in the window seat standing up, and they gotta hunch over, and because then the person, for whatever reason, is dropping the thing, the overhead bin,
Mm-hmm.
and so all of a sudden, this person that decided to stand up like a dumbass in the window seat is getting slapped in the face by the overhead compartment, and like, just sit down. You're not gaining anything by standing up. If you need to stand up and stretch your legs real quick, fine. But then sit back down.
Yeah.
Because you're going to do more damage to your spine and neck by being hunched over like that for 20 minutes than you would if you just waited to stretch your legs until you could actually deboard the plane.
They're just really excited to be in Miami, man.
Yeah, well, okay. I don't know. I made my way down to South Beach one day, and it was gloomy and cold as hell. So, and the rest of Miami is garbage.
Yeah, it's in Florida.
Okay, don't you disparage Florida like that.
I mean, what are the merits of Florida? What are the good things about Florida?
Alligators.
That's a good thing about Florida?
They're cool. They're modern day dinosaurs.
So are chickens.
They're cool too, and they taste good.
Okay. All right.
It kind of looks like a wiener.
Okay.
It's got that going for it too. And I'm sure there are other things that plenty of people could tell us about how great Florida is.
To paraphrase super bad, they told me I couldn't go to any of the penis-shaped states. You know what shapes are penis-shaped? The best ones.
DeSantis in his sexy boots
I'm sorry, he's an upside to Florida?
and his man heels.
His man heels?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No.
When he was on, was it when he was in the presidential race? He was sitting on a chair and he definitely had lips on his boots.
Ooh, the Tom Cruise. All right.
But then there was also a time where he was visiting like a disaster zone
Mm-hmm.
and he was wearing like thigh-high waterproof boots. You see his lifts?
Yeah,
Yeah, see? So,
this is very funny to me. This man is in Louboutin level of high heel.
how do you usually pack for a plane trip?
I
You a light packer, heavy packer?
super light packer. If I can't fit it into a backpack, I probably won't bring it. I think in the times that I've flown, I've checked a bag once.
Checking your bag is a mess.
Yeah.
I check bags everywhere I go because I don't pay for it.
Mhm.
But when I do check my bags, I know that it's probably a 30% shot. I'm not going to get my bags. It actually did happen to me one time. I was going to Miami again, and I landed, waited hour and a half for my bags. Nothing.
Mhm.
So I went to the desk and talked to them. They made me fill out a form, and they had to deliver my bags to me, to my hotel.
Okay.
And so the next day.
Hmm.
So I was there at this hotel with no luggage, no clothes, no nothing for a full day
Okay.
until my bags that stands to reason would be on the same plane that I was on were delivered to me. That was the most egregious. I mean, there's been times where you wait like 45 minutes and then everyone's luggage starts coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I didn't have to check bags, I would love to not have to check bags.
Ooh, also when you're picking up your luggage, the people that will lift up every single suitcase like it's theirs.
Yeah.
You didn't know that this green army duffel was not your black, like, hard case suitcase? What if I did bring it? Didn't remember. Like, what's wrong with you? Stop manhandling my bags.
Person handling.
Stop handling my bags.
There we go. So, no matter what seat you're in, you're always in an armrest dispute.
I'm always squished. Every single time that I have a neighbor, I'm
Yeah.
squished. Armrest, foot space. It's ridiculous.
What do you think the armrest solution is? What do you think the best case scenario for all involved is?
I think everyone gets the armrest to their right. So like the person on the window seat, well, if you're on like the left side of the plane, you get the one to your right.
Okay.
So the window seat gets the one to their right, the middle seat gets the one to their right, and the aisle seat gets the one to their right. Everyone gets an armrest.
Counter.
Mm-hmm.
What if everyone gets the two outside people get the outside armrests, and then the middle person gets both armrests because they're in the middle, and they don't have an advantage in their seat.
That's fair.
That's how I always take it. I mean, I don't sit in the middle, but if I were to, you bet your ass I'm taking both armrests.
Yeah. I went on a trip with an ex of mine forever ago at this point. And I was between him and his mom, and both of them fell asleep and were snoring on either side of me. And I thought,
You were in between them?
small person sits in the middle.
Oh.
Both of them fell asleep and were snoring rather loudly, and
Were they leaning on you?
one of them was, yeah,
The mother?
at all times. No, it switched off.
Oh. Well, that was courteous.
I thought so.
You always ended up with one free shoulder.
A little bit of drool, no biggie. Yeah, that was not my favorite way to fly, I will say.
I do have times where people have fallen asleep on me. What are you gonna do? It's a stranger. I don't want to create a kerfuffle. Luckily, it's never been people that are offensive to me. If you know what I mean.
I don't know. I'm gonna need you to explain that one.
Well, there's one time there was a mother and her daughter. Daughter was in the window seat. Mother was in the middle seat, and she probably just had a real rough day, and so I gave her a shoulder to snooze on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't hurt that she was a very attractive woman. But this was ages ago, so it doesn't matter. I can't. Statute of limitations is up.
Sure, yeah.
You ever had babies on your plane?
Not like super loud ones. I've had like occasional like fussy babies, but not in a way that like disrupts the entire plane.
Yeah.
One of Nate's friends, they took their daughter on a flight with them to Germany when she was really little. And apparently after they had already done like they had boarded, they had gotten like the seatbelt sign was on, like they were about to take off, and she shit herself. Like it was all over the dad in this situation. And so they just had to go to Germany. And
But they had no replacement?
well, they did, but they had just turned on, like they were taking off. So he had to just like wait until they were like fully in the
Oh.
air before he could do anything about it.
Oh.
Which
So
I think might be my worst nightmare.
he didn't ask to ground the plane?
No, he just asked for 1,000 of those little bitty cocktail napkins.
Did he get some extra biscotti cookies?
I think everyone on that flight's appetite was probably ruined after that.
Okay. Baby poop. Like, once it's on you, it's just on you.
Sure, yeah.
Like,
This is the perspective of a person without children. I will.
you can't freak out when you get a little poop on you.
Sure, yeah.
And if you have to sit there with it, you have to sit there with it. I will tell, the initial shock is quick and severe, but then after that, you're good to go. So once they turned off the seatbelt sign, then he was able to go clean everything up.
I think so, yeah.
He didn't just ride it out all the way to.
All the way to Germany.
Hamburg.
Probably not.
Do you want to know something? You had no idea I was going to bring this up. You just happened to bring up Germany.
Yeah. What do you got?
Hamburg International Airport.
Mhm.
Longest functioning international airport in the world.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's a fun fact.
What's the first airport in the United States? Actually, I think it might be the first airport in general.
O'Hare.
No.
Can I get a hint as to what coast? What area of the country?
North.
JFK?
South of that north.
Raleigh? Somewhere in the Carolinas?
North of that south. No, it's in Maryland. College Park Airport.
Okay.
One of the Wright brothers trained 2 pilots there.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. First commercial flight. Where do
I
you
was about to
think
say, was that a
took place?
question? And
Where do you think that took place?
where it took place?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they couldn't have gone far. So if they left from Maryland,
It was it's not in Maryland. It was an 18-mile flight,
okay.
and it took 23 minutes.
And Taylor Swift even has nothing on these numbers.
On January 1st, 1914.
Oh, okay.
College Park actually opened in 1909. First commercial flight was a air. What are they called?
Dirigible?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, it went from St. Petersburg, Florida,
Mhm.
to Tampa, Florida.
Oh, okay.
18 miles, 23 minutes.
There's a thing that I sent to Nate the other day because he was flying to Austin, and his plane was delayed by like 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3-hour drive from DFW to Austin. And so I sent him this thing from John Caparulo, and he's talking about getting his flight got delayed by like a couple hours, and it was
Mhm.
from like Akron to like Dayton, Ohio. And he was like, why are we still waiting on the tarmac? You can just put the plane on 35 and drive it up. It's like a 30-minute drive. I wonder what he's up to these days.
He had a podcast. I don't know if he still does.
Yeah.
We saw him in
Fort Worth,
Fort
right?
Worth. Yeah. Do you think by 2025 we should have a different form of air conditioning on planes?
What did you have in mind?
I don't know. I hate the system. I don't know. Maybe something that comes from the seats.
The itty bitty fan?
Yeah, that little
Doesn't-
the little water bottle spout that is just either going to hit you directly on the head or just on your tray table.
I don't think I've ever thought about the air conditioning on a plane.
No?
I'm always cold. So I just dress in layers every time that I've been on a plane.
Well, I'm always hot, and it sucks. And Mr. Boeing needs to address that as well as everything else that's going wrong with their planes.
Yeah, but get on the air conditioning first.
Yeah. You want to build up that goodwill first.
Priorities.
Before you start just fixing stuff like windows busting out of the body mid-flight.
Hey man, you want air conditioning? What better way to get it?
Speaking of windows busting out, do you know who Jennifer Royerdan is? Royerdan? Riordan?
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 Riordan? I think it's Riordan because there's the author of the Percy Jackson books is Rick Riordan.
Related to Jennifer Riordan?
Quite possibly. I've never heard that name in any other context.
I hope not.
No.
I
Who
hope
is
he's not
Jennifer
related to
Riordan?
Jennifer. She was a Wells Fargo executive that lived in Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
And she was flying from New York, I believe, to our lovely Love Field.
Okay.
Our local regional airport.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know the story?
No.
No? Oh. Engine exploded over Philadelphia on the way to Dallas. Blew out her window. She got partially sucked out the window.
Partially?
Uh-huh. She was still buckled. Her lap belt was still on. She was still in her seat, but she just, got sucked out the window over Philadelphia. They made an emergency landing. The woman next to her tried to pull her out. Was unsuccessful. 2 men finally were able to get her back in the plane, and she was no longer with us after that.
Sure.
Because she literally got sucked out of an airplane.
Damn.
And you know what? That's not the only notable connection to Love Field. Did you
what else we
also
got?
know that Love Field has some significant importance in the history of this great nation?
No, what is this a JFK thing?
Oh, it is.
Okay.
It is a
What do you
JFK
got?
thing. So when JFK came to Dallas,
Mm.
that beautiful day in November of 1963,
Mhm.
he flew into Carswell Air Force Base in Fort Worth, flew there to Love Field, which is, how far would you say that? It's like an hour?
About, yeah.
Yeah. So he made that flight. It's an hour by car. I'm sure it's like 20 minutes by plane.
Mhm.
Meets people on the tarmac. I think he has like a little speech. He does his thing, and then that's when he gets in his little motorcade and just makes his way around Dealey Plaza.
The motorcade?
The motorcade, and then pop. Allegedly, Lee Harvey Oswald did what he did. And after that, he went to Parkland Hospital, which is right down the street. From there, his body was taken to Love Field on Air Force One. But that's not the most historical part about Love Field.
Okay.
On Love Field property is the first president that was sworn into office on an airplane. LBJ.
Yeah.
He became the first president sworn in to the presidency in Texas. And it was the first time that a female justice swore in a president.
Wow, all kinds of history
All
being
that
made.
happened in LBJ, or in Love Field, in November of 1963,
Interesting.
on a date that is very precious to me.
Yeah?
Yeah, it has nothing.
For more than one reason.
Yeah. People around here are very particular about JFK stuff.
Yeah, everyone's got their theories.
Yeah. You think he's a lone gunman?
No.
Did you see the files
No.
that were just released? They were like, this is everything you could possibly ever want to know about this is in these files. It wasn't.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't everything.
Because they allegedly were going to release all the stuff about the JFK assassination and the Martin Luther King one.
Yep.
And so far as I know, we've gotten a whole lot of nothing.
Zip.
All the things that were released were like super redacted, weren't they?
There were still a lot of redactions in it, yeah. What about DFW? the international airport of our area, do you know any notable instances from there?
No.
None whatsoever. Not a single thing comes to mind when you think of Dallas Fort Worth International Airport.
The only events that I associate with airports are out of Logan and the Denver airport.
Okay.
The only airport that I have any kind of lore on is the Denver airport.
Yeah. Lucifer.
Lucifer.
All right. You mind if I jog your memory real quick?
What do you got?
But I am telling you right now, the back there is not real. I don't give two.
Oh.
I am telling.
Tiffany Gomez. That was on an American Airlines flight at DFW Airport that she was on, lost her damn mind, and then deplaned or was thrown off the plane.
Yeah.
And created a nice little post freak out career for herself.
What did she lose her mind over?
She just started pointing at someone and said that MFer right there. That MFer is not real.
Yeah.
That is not a real person.
What a crazy way to be found out if you were a skinwalker.
Yeah.
Just a random lady on an airplane.
And then after that, there was all sorts of people trying to splice together all the footage that they had to see who she was talking about. I think a lot of people nailed it down to one person, and then he was like, "Yeah, no, I was just on the plane. I was just taking a flight, guys."
Likely story.
And then immediately it came out that Carrot Top claimed he was on the plane. Though it should be noted, there's no footage of Carrot Top being on the plane.
You can't look that recognizable and be like, actually, guys, I was there.
That's what I was thinking. If you see Carrot Top, you're going to know that's Carrot Top.
You would not pay attention to any other person in that video, including Tiffany Gomez, if Carrot Top was in the aisle.
Is that Carrot Top? Hey, what's going on back there? Anyways, Carrot Top's here. Show us some props. Show us some props.
You think he didn't have the giant sunglasses in his carry-on?
Please, guys, I'm trying to stay incognito. But the more recent viral moment that came from DFW Airport was in Terminal D, the nicest terminal in any airport ever. Have you been to Terminal D?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, it's nice.
Okay.
They just redid it, and
Then no. It's been a while since I've flown out of DFW.
it's like first class, but an entire terminal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Video comes out of a woman talking about being at one with herself, trying to get back to nature, pretty much calling herself Pocahontas and Ariel from The Little Mermaid incarnate.
Okay.
Starts throwing some water bottles, destroys a TV, starts taking swings, stabs a dude with a pencil.
Oh, what?
All this while completely butt naked.
When was this?
This was a month and a half ago.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
This is a thing, and there is a video
Huh.
of this naked woman throwing stuff, emptying out water bottles on people, and eventually stabbing a dude with a pencil, all while completely naked. She's traveling with her daughter.
Oh.
She got arrested for...
This was a week ago.
It was a week ago?
March 26th.
Oh, there
6
you
days.
go. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, March 14th.
Yeah, that sounds more correcter.
Insane.
So, I guess the moral of the story, you come to Dallas, if you want to meet crazy women, you go to DFW. If you need to get your body out of the state from someone that you allegedly had nothing to do with the assassination of, you go to left field.
Noted.
Yeah. Do you know what the busiest airports in the world are?
Heathrow.
Is actually number 6.
JFK? Or LaGuardia?
Neither broke the top 10.
Oh. O'Hare?
O'Hare is 8. Have you ever been to the ATL?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. Hartsfield Jackson is the world's busiest airport. If you've ever been, it's like a mall. It's got like 3 stories of just stores.
Okay.
It is an extremely busy airport. TSA is going to take you a while, no matter what time of day you fly.
hmm
And I think that it falls into the same category as Dallas is like one of the busiest airports just because it's a hub
Massive
for a
hub, yeah.
lot of international travel. So, like, if people are going from the east to the west, they're probably going to stay and they're probably going to have a layover in Dallas.
Yeah.
Or, I guess, also Atlanta. Dubai's number 2,
Okay.
which do we have flights that go to Dubai? We do, right? Here?
I wouldn't think so. Not without like a bunch of connections. You have to fly to like, I would imagine Heathrow, because
What's-
Heathrow is like the European
What's the
launching point.
what's the Emirate airline? They have their own.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I think they fly out of here. And then DFW is number 3, followed by Tokyo,
Okay.
Heathrow, Denver with Lucifer, O'Hare, Istanbul.
Interesting.
And you
Would not have
know,
guessed that one.
you know what I have noted with a lot of people in Istanbul airports?
What?
Almost like 90% of them are just hair transplant guys. You see a plane leaving Istanbul and it's just a bunch of bald dudes
Yeah.
with their heads wrapped. Maybe one day I'll be one of those bald dudes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do you want to be one of those bald dudes?
Yeah. I need to thicken all this up front.
Yeah.
I can't wear hats for the rest of my life. Because because when I eventually go bald,
Mm-hmm.
none of this skin has had direct contact with the sun, and it's pretty much just immediate. What am I going to lather up with sunscreen every day? Just on my head?
Yes.
And then the line. There's going to be a line, and I'm going to look like Trump.
Oof.
I'm going to have a bronzer line just at the top of my forehead and be pasty up top.
I dated a guy for a while who shaved his head at one point, and he did look surprisingly good bald, because it's not really my vibe, but he had a landscaping job, and so he was outside for one day, and his head got so sunburned that it swelled. He looks like Toad from Mario. I felt so bad.
Oh.
It was so funny.
Yeah, that's not the comparison you want.
It was not. I bet it was not a fun thing to deal with. I've never been sunburned on my scalp.
No? It's probably for the best.
Yeah.
You ever been sunburned at all?
I have, yeah.
A severe one?
Yes.
Like Peel City?
Yeah, so I went floating the river, I think it was like 2 years ago, and we were outside for so long because the current wasn't really moving, and so we were just like barely crawling down the river. And by the time we got done, I ended up almost like throwing up from like sun exposure by
Yeah.
the time we got like to flat land. And we were just like, we peeled for I think an entire week. I had a tan line for a whole year where my water shoes were.
Like lobsters.
It was not fun. I was very brown for the rest of that summer, so it sort of worked out, but that was not pleasant.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about all I got for this one.
Okay.
Any words of wisdom?
Flying is just falling with style.
That's true. And if you ever are in a situation where you find yourself needing to fly on a plane, be considerate of everyone around you. Don't be a douche. And-
Also, the space that you have in your airplane seat is vertical from your armrests. Please do not go outside of it.
And also to airplane manufacturers, fix your air conditioning systems. It's stupid. And yeah, so we'll see you next time.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
All right.